Warren Buffett says a real estate storm is coming. Over $2.6 trillion of debt looming over the U.S. real estate market. And by the way, Warren Buffett is dumping stock as we speak. He's dumped most of his Bank of America stock. Should tell you that he knows something that you need to know. So what does Warren Buffett know about the marketplace, the stock market and the real estate market that you need to know? Look, guys, there is a real estate cataclysmic correction happening today. There's $2.7 trillion, and I'm going to share with you how you can take advantage of it, what you need to do about it. But when guys like Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger and Bill Ackman and people are starting to watch this marketplace and say something is going on in the marketplace that's problematic.
Grant Cardone and Warren Buffett are absolutely correct. There is a real estate storm brewing, guys, and you're going to be very surprised at what sector in real estate that is actually brewing in, man. This is going to be fun and informative. Let's get in this thing, baby. You see that thing. Let's go.
Yeah, man, that's crazy. 40 days, God, I've been Swayze. Grew the beard out, that ain't shady. That's a bird, man, I ain't baby. Talking whole pie, that's so crazy. How I got a shot, raise the bean sprout up, put a crown up on her head so the boys seeing, no, that's a lady. If you ain't catch a double that time on the last rhyme, dog, I could help you. I got plenty more where that came from. When I brainstorm, I need.
What's good, baby? It's your boy Dale. I'm back in the saddle again. Our motto is to buy, build. We already bought it already, so we already own it, free and clear. Refinance to long-term debt, cash flow. That is the motto. Cliff, man, is that a pretty strong motto, man? What do you think?
Man, the model is strong. Like, you're getting each piece of the invest, right?
What it do, baby? It's your partner Dale and Cliff back in the saddle again for another edition of Real Estate Friday Live. Guys, man, this has been a very eventful week. Cliff, how you doing, big time? You doing all right, big dog?
Yeah, doing good, man. It's been a very eventful week, man. A lot of stuff going on.
A lot of stuff going on, man. Did we get the bag, though?
Oh, yeah, you know we got the bag.
Yeah, we got the bag, man. If y'all could, man, if you like what we're sharing, guys, every Friday at 5 p.m. CST, share, like, and subscribe, and click on that little bell so you get alerted whenever we go live, guys. This is going to be a really good topic. You know how we begin it every single time, guys. We have a new thing we do is we actually have a current market analysis. That's what we always do, guys. So Cliff, man, you know we always start with this here, man. Here we go, man. Here we go. We got it. Y'all know what time it is, man. We have to come on, get it in the right way, baby. Yes, sir. We got to lean back on what's going on with the market. Let's get it, y'all. Simple. Real simple, guys. Cliff, tell folk, man, what's going on with the current market now? So what's going on, man? What's going to be dope?
Man, so the market right now is moving slow. We're moving real slow, right?
Real slow.
We're starting to see some pickup a little bit, but I would say it's minuscule, right? We're not seeing a lot of movement. It's moving slow. I'm getting a lot of feedback from realtors who are telling me this last 2 years, even leading up to where we are now, it's been the worst 2 years of their career.
Wow.
We're at all-time low in transactions. So even when I say it's picking up, you have to understand we're picking up from the worst it's ever been in 40 years. Let me repeat that.
Wow.
Worst it's been in 40 years in terms of transactions.
That's crazy.
I'm seeing somewhat of a backsliding because basically right now in the market, it's a double-edged sword. So what you have is prices are actually decent. They're coming down a little bit. They're starting to become more reasonable. I'm sorry to see a lot of basically it's kind of going sideways, but the reason why you see the value going down is people may hold their price. So let's say they want 500,000. But people are negotiating for 80. So I'm seeing 15 prices are at 500,000. So you see a house on the market on Zillow, it's $500,000, 500,000.
Sure. Okay.
But when you actually look at what the price is that they're closing at or that they're actually paying, it's 480. People are negotiating now in the marketplace because days on market are longer. And people don't want to sit. And most of the time, if they're selling in this environment, it's because they have to.
Wow. And what you're saying, if they have to, what's happening is the days on the market are longer because of the lower velocity of the transactions, correct?
Exactly. Right. There's not a ton of demand out there. Conversation I had this week with an owner where he can't even afford his own home because the value of the house has gone up, plus
Wow.
the interest rates. And so I think that's probably 40% of the market that they can't even afford the own home they're in.
Jeez, man. This smells a lot like 2008. I see some bread comes with 2008, man. Do you agree or you disagree?
I It has some components of 2008. It's a little bit different, only because people don't necessarily need to sell. If you're at a 4%, 3% interest rate, they're
Okay.
just holding. What the problem we have now is we have too many people who may want to sell, but they
Mm,
can't into this environment. Interest rates are too
mm,
high, price is too high.
mm. Gotcha, gotcha. Now, on the refinance again, from an appraiser standpoint, because you're a licensed appraiser, what is it looking like? How are the transactions volumes when it comes to refinances? Are they low, medium, high, or non-existent?
I mean, there's some. It's low compared to what I've seen. I mean,
Yeah.
back in 2021, man, it was amazing. It was probably 70% of what I did was
Wow.
refinances.
Wow.
They dropped the interest rates real low during COVID, and man, it was booming. I was weeks out with
Wow.
what was going on. Right now, there's some purchases going on,
Yeah.
um, but it's not even close. It's not even close. So
Wow.
I had a conversation with a appraisal company, and they do tons across the country.
Mm,
And he said that back in 2020, they were doing about
mm,
4,000 transactions a day.
mm.
Now they're down to 700.
Woo! 4,000 transactions a day down to 700.
Yep. Hmm.
Jeez. Wow, that is a significant shift in transactions. Matter of fact, I was talking to a realtor in Jackson, Mississippi, and this is it's a property for I think that she has listed for $160,000. And what's going on is it's she was saying that the client that she's working for, she said that they get a lot of traction of people coming in at that price point, but she's seeing a couple of variations that are kind of concerning. She says, number one, the DTI is too high, so therefore they can't qualify for mortgage. Number two, they don't have any cash.
Mm.
They want everything, right? And then number three, um, she said that they don't have the credit. And then number four, she said they have transformed their minds just to be renters, not owners. And I said,
Mm.
damn. She said it is she's concerned for her livelihood because she's a licensed, of course, realtor. I think she has some type of mortgage license too as well also. And as she's over there, she's struggling, man. This is in Jackson, Mississippi. Mississippi has have very little inflation, very little, if any. And they're beginning to see the effects of this contraction of the system. And I think people are going to keep asking me, LaDale, when I get interviewed, LaDale, do you think that the market is going to uptick in 2025? I said no. Number one, because you're still on the previous president's budget. It's going to be more of a high inflationary printing type of scenario. And then number two, the Fed can do very little because if your partner, which is the Congress, is still printing, there's nothing you can really do with the rates to be able to really could tell this because your partner is not restricting in the printing. And so I just said, man, I know that the incoming president is going to want the Fed chairman Powell to cut rates, but if he does, deflation is here. You had inflationary events during the Biden administration. I am predicting you probably end up seeing some type of deflationary event under Trump
Hmm.
in his first 2 years because it has to happen. It
So
has to happen.
how do you think he's going to be able to deflate? And is that going to be across the board, or is that going to be in certain sectors?
I think it's gonna be in certain sectors.
Mm.
Real estate, of course. Like you talked about it just now. You always sits in that deflationary effect in the real estate industry. Anywhere there's high inflation, high inflation, you're going to see a retraction. It has to happen because it has to pop. It has to pop. And so I think how he's going to try to curtail that, and I think it's going to be a very interesting magical act that he may try to do, is he wants to be very aggressive when it comes to trade deals. So I using a lot of tariffs, border security, as well as via tariffs, as well as energy. I think he's going to use those three things to try to curtail this. I just think it's not going to be enough. It's not going to be enough. You agree, man? You disagree?
Yeah, I think deflation is going to be difficult. I mean, it could happen. I mean,
sure.
But right now, I think the market's ready to get back. I think it wants to, but the conditions that we're in right now are just it's slow.
Very slow. How you doing, Raul? How you doing, brother? Yeah.
Yeah, I see everything moving to the top. I mean, if you look at the S&P, you know, that's where all the money goes. All the money is going to the S&P. Those are the people who, basically, if the S&P is people basically with a monopoly.
Oh yeah.
So the money is going to end up in their coffers at some point, and so you can kind of see where the market is just from that. That's why you see the market go straight up. It's because those monopolies, your Apple, Google, Microsoft, Tesla, like all those people who basically own the market, they're getting all the profit. So we could see in the past month, Dale, up 5%.
Now, I see that.
Crazy.
And it's crazy. I believe that the stock market is overinflated. It's highly inflated.
It is, yeah.
It's highly inflated. So whenever you have inflation, what has to happen? Deflation. And so that's going to be, I believe, a stock market correction coming.
So you think there's going to be a reduction in transactions?
I don't know. I don't know what it's going to look like. I'm open to being counseled on it. But I don't know. It's just I just know that the stock market is highly inflated right now. It's really inflated, and it's I don't know. Now again, the government just have a team that's in charge of trying to not allow for the stock market to deflate or be affected. They were set up by former Fed chairman, not Ben Bernanke, but Alan Greenspan. He set up, I think it's, I'm gonna call it a tank team. That's not its official name, but a tank team. And the whole goal is to step in whenever there's a threat to the stock market. That's their whole goal.
And people, you know, they don't understand. This is, for me, the big thing to me is you have to let the market crash. That is where the people at the bottom can become very wealthy.
Yep.
You know, like I always said, if you're already at the bottom, you can't fall further. Only the rich can really fall far. When there's a stock market crash, all those people own all those businesses and have all that wealth in those businesses, they're the ones who suffer the most. But when you come out of it, you look at the crash in the Great Depression, look at all the companies that came out of it. But now we already know what's going on. Like you said, Ben Bernanke, they're going to print. Companies cannot fail anymore. More zombie companies exist now than ever before.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It is. But I think it was wise for Ben Bernanke to do that. Yes, I do. I do. Because a lot of 99% of the Americans' wealth is tied up in the stock market. It really is. It is. Every pension fund, every retirement account is attached in some form of fashion or mirroring the stock market. It's that simple. It's not hard. So I think that was a smart move. But is it going to work? I don't know. We're going to see what actually happens. This is not a doom and gloom type of real estate live, guys. It's just we got to talk about what's really going on with the current market itself, so that we can properly understand where we're at and then prescribe the right solution. Right? If that makes some sense. Now, do you think the stock market is going to crash or retract?
I don't think so. I think we're going to move. I think we're still going to go up, but we're going to move slower.
Okay.
I think it's going to be slow. I think 2025 is going to be better than 2024, but not by much.
I agree with that sentiment. I can see that. I can see that. Every trick is going to be put out there. Every trick, technique is going to be put into play to make that happen. So I'm praying that what Cliff is saying, I'm praying that actually happens. I pray it does.
Yeah.
That is for sure. Because the other option is a bloodbath. It's a bloodbath, to be honest with you. You think about, Cliff, if the whole stock market crashed and deflated, oh my God.
Well, but here's the thing, though. If there's always two sides to the transaction. If it's falling, someone else is selling.
Come on.
Right? So someone's on the other side of that transaction. Someone's going to be, usually what happens when the market crashes is a handful of people saw it coming.
Yep.
And they get really rich. They get all the money that you sold and lost money on. That's their profit.
Every time, bro. Every single time. So whenever there's a crash, there's always an opportunity.
Right.
Are you ready? But let's dive into our topic today, guys, real quickly, guys. Hey, Cliff, man, real quickly, brother. There's two titans detailed on the screen. Two titans. One in real estate, one in the stock market. One is, I think, the second richest man in the world, Warren Buffett. And the other one is a billionaire in real estate, right? And $5 billion with the real estate assets under management. He's a beast. He's a beast. And Warren Buffett came out and said something, and Grant Cardone, he actually began to analyze what Warren Buffett was saying and why and how he was saying that with the data. Let's take a look at that, man, and then what we can do is respond to that, guys. And I gotta say, guys, this is very interesting information. Let's dive into it. Here we go. Let's see what's going on. Here we go. Boom.
Warren Buffett says a real estate storm is coming. Over $2.6 trillion of debt looming over the U.S. real estate market. And by the way, Warren Buffett is dumping stock as we speak. He's dumped most of his Bank of America stock. Should tell you that he knows something that you need to know. So what is Warren Buffett?
So, Cliff, why would an investor like Warren Buffett, why would he begin to sell a lot of his stock? Why would he do that for?
Yeah, I mean, I think he probably has some sensitivity in the market. He thinks there's probably a drop coming.
Yeah.
And he's got billions, and he said, let me buy some bonds.
Sure.
And I can give me 5% on $200-300 billion.
Ooh.
Excuse me. $2 or $3 trillion.
There you go.
My
Okay.
bad. My bad.
Wrong letter.
Let me correct myself. A couple $1 trillion. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Wrong letter. It's all good. With a T. Let's see what we're talking about. Here we go.
But know about the marketplace, the stock market and the real estate market that you need to know. Look, guys, there is a real estate cataclysmic correction happening today. There's $2.7 trillion. And I'm going to share with you how you can take advantage of it, what you need to do about it. But when guys like Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger and Bill Ackman and people are starting to watch this marketplace and say something is going on in the marketplace that's problematic. For instance, we have more unrealized losses in banks today than we did in 2008, 9, and 10, which was a global economic crisis caused again by real estate, which was really a banking crisis, not a real estate crisis. Same thing's happening right now in 2024, 2025, and moving forward. $2.7 trillion. Just understand how big this number is. Will expire between now and the dates I just gave you. Today and the dates I just gave you, $2.7 trillion worth of debt is maturing, due right now. It needs to be paid off somewhere between now and the next, somewhere 20 months from now, okay? That means a maturation or an expiration date on that debt is due. Now check this out. When this debt literally went into place, when it was originated, it was somewhere between 2 and 3%. Okay, stay with me here because I'm going to show you the magnitude of this problem. It's so enormous and will create such an opportunity for you and your family to actually invest in real estate. And I'm going to show you, based on this, what you should be offering to pay because of that, okay? This loan was done at 2 or 3% today. Let's say this loan matured today and now is due at 7% interest. So just imagine, I'm gonna keep it simple. Let's say it was 3.5% interest on any amount, okay? Understand this is gonna be thousands, tens of thousands of different loans on properties. It could be an office building, a hotel, it could be apartments like we buy at Cardone Capital. It's not single family homes. I'm not talking about single family homes. And the reason I'm not talking
Exactly. I want to pause right there for a second, Cliff. Notice, man, then he's not talking about any single family homes at all, period. Because of the fact that I agree with him. I believe that the lion's share of this is going to be more so in the commercial arena, not the residential arena, because as you said before, people in the residential have 2, 3, 4% interest rates locked in. Would you agree? You disagree?
Yeah. I agree.
Interesting, man. Let's keep it going, guys. Here we go.
talking about single family homes in this equation is because 70% of all single family homes in America have a loan under 4%, less than 4%, less than 4%, every one of them. Okay, 30%, almost 30% of all the homes in America are paid for in cash.
Correct.
So you're not going to have a collapse in the single family. Where you're going to have a collapse and a correction is this $2.7 trillion worth of commercial debt. And I believe that's why Warren Buffett is dumping his Bank of America stock. He has more treasury bills today. Warren Buffett owns more treasury bills today than the federal government owns treasury bills. I'll tell you why that is today in a second.
Damn, Cliff. What? How does an investor own more treasury bonds than the government? Jesus.
Because the government needs to sell them.
Yes, sir. And he's making a killing on that Delta. A killing. I know he is.
Yeah. Once you hit that level of billions, they don't keep cash.
No.
They don't need it. They just buy treasury bonds and get 5%.
Every time, Doc. And if they need cash, then they just leverage their assets to get the cash.
Right.
That's all they do. Keep going.
As well. Okay. So watch. Let's say this loan was at 3.5%. And let's say this was let's say this was a $100 million hotel loan in New York City or Chicago. And the loan's due. Great property, great location. It's nothing to do with the property, by the way. The whole problem is the loan matured when the interest rates went up. Okay? If the interest rates go up, the loan amount's going to go down. So they go this way. They basically move inversely to one another. Okay? If rates go down, okay, the loan amount goes up.
Yeah.
If the rates go up, guess what? It goes the other way, okay? The rates go down. So in this case, what happened was the rates went from 3% to 7%. And what happens to the debt? The debt is going to go down by how much? Well, by 4 points, okay? In this case, 3.5 points, okay? It's going to go down by almost half. So watch. I'm going to go back and show you the implication on this. Let's say this loan was approved by the bank. This is how all loans are approved by all banks. It is not approved because commercial real estate is not approved because the guy next door sold for a certain amount of money, like a house does. That's called a comparable, called a comp. Okay, another house sold for 400 grand, so your house is worth 400. That's not how commercial works. Commercial works based on the amount of cash flow generated from that property.
Right.
So when this loan was done at 3.5%, the bank said this loan can support $3.5 million worth of interest on the loan. So the interest must have been less than the total income on the property. I'm gonna make this up because I'm making the deal up.
Yeah.
Let's assume then that the free cash flow from the property was $5 million. This would be about what it was for them to approve this $100 million loan at 3.5% interest, this $3.5 million a year in just the interest, okay? Wow. We would need about that much to support, I'd need about $5 million to support that. Well, the loan's due now, and the loan went to 7%, and guess what? That's $7 million. What's the problem here? The $7 million comes off the NOI of the property, and they're losing $2 million.
Wow.
See the problem?
Yep.
Okay, now, what is the property worth today? Well, based on the debt, okay, if the debt's $7 million, I'm just using interest, this does not include the principal. So the situation is actually going to get bigger, but I'm going to be very conservative here. if the new interest is $7 million, typically the bank will only lend 75% or about 125.
Unless you don't have experience, and it's close to 65.
They need 125% of the debt to be income, free income, in order for them to give a loan that would cost $7 million a year. This is called the
And again, that is based on you being an experienced investor. If you don't have any experience, what is it going to be again, Cliff?
You're looking at 65% to 70% LTV.
So you're looking at a 5 to 10% haircut. Just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind.
DSCR, debt coverage ratio, or debt service coverage ratio. And it says that basically if I have $7 million worth of principal and interest, it'd be a little more than that here, I need 1.25 or 125% of this number supported by the income in order to approve that loan. As we a bunch of bankers sit in a room and they're like, does it hit the DSCR? Does it hit the DCR? It's going to be underwritten, approved by a board that says, does it hit this metric? Okay. Now, again, we're using simplicity here. If you're a really smart real estate investor right now, you know that this $7 million is interest only.
Right.
And this loan would actually probably cost more like $8.5 million with principal and interest pay down. Okay, but I'm just trying to show you right now the simplicity of this. The bank's going to want 125%, depending on the deal, depending on the location, depending on the management, the buyer, and the moment. This number could go as high as 145%, maybe even 155, because people are scared. Like an office building today. An office building today is going to be punished because office is out of favor. An apartment deal, we can get down to 125 or 115. The more likely the lender likes the deal, the more likely the lender will lend to the deal, and the more they're moving kind of money to those deals, that DCR goes down. Okay. Now, stay with me here. Okay. Remember, this 8.75 is what I need, but I don't have that. Okay. Interest rates went up. The property's value has gone down, not because the property's worse off, because the income didn't change. Okay. When the cost of money went up, the income stayed the same. I'm still only making $5 million a year. That's why you're seeing some of these office buildings and apartment buildings, we're stealing them, okay? So watch, I only have $5 million worth of income. That didn't change. What did change? $7 million worth of debt.
Yeah.
Okay, nobody's going to give me $7 million worth of interest-only debt on this deal. Why? Because it doesn't produce money. It loses $2 million a year. Nobody in their right mind will ever give a loan on this. Nobody's going to get it approved. Elon Musk couldn't buy this deal. Wouldn't happen. No bank will approve the deal. So watch. This can't happen. Okay, this can't happen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, well, how much money could they give me? And for those of you who want to know how to steal real estate in this cycle, make sure you hit the subscribe button so you get notified of other videos I'll be sharing with you, and hit the notification so you get binged as soon as I drop one. We drop one once, twice a month, so that you guys can have access to the same information I have access to.
So guys, Cliff, man, before we finish that up, what do you think about what he's talking about there when it comes to the contraction going on in the commercial arena? What do you think about that, brother?
He's absolutely right. That the Fed is creating these bubbles and these cycles with their rapid increase and decreasing of interest rates, which is trapping a lot of these commercial properties. Because exactly like Grant said, you know, when you have that inverse relationship between the debt and the interest rates, man, it's trapping people. And 2.7 trillion. Yeah. Man, there's got to be opportunity out there. My question is, though, for the owners of those commercial properties, I'm guessing it has to make sense for them to negotiate with the bank than to try to deal with the repricing that debt.
Well, not necessarily. I see your perspective, right? And I would say if the bank has his numbers that he's walked out, and his numbers are spot on, what is there to talk about? The bank's like, the deal can't work because the numbers don't work. They don't work. You have to bring me this asset at the proper price point for me to make the deal work, because they have to follow lending guidelines, correct?
That's true, and they're on those, and they're because what's happening is the bank basically buys those treasury bonds, so they're having
Correct.
to stick to those prices, so
Gotcha.
they can't reprice them. And so when you try to go in and say, "Hey, I need to refinance this debt. I have a
Yep.
4% interest rate, and now it's 7." The bank just says, "We ain't got it. We
Yep.
cannot issue the debt at that 7% interest rate."
Can't.
Mm.
That's what's going on. Now, Cliff, man, when we come back here in the second, guys, we're gonna walk through the opportunity that is coming out of this. Now, Grant talks about it, but me and Cliff are going to talk about from a residential standpoint, because Grant is coming from a commercial standpoint. And that's fine. Those numbers are great, right? But from a residential standpoint, because you may be a residential investor to where you may say, LaDale, commercial is too big for me. How does this work for when it comes to residential? How does it work there? But we're going to walk through those numbers. Here we go.
Walk me through everything, but let's start from the beginning. How'd you get into this space?
Well, when I was 17 years old, my Uncle Gary, who still lives to this day, introduced me to a concept called passive income.
Okay.
And I said, "Oh, Uncle, what's that?"
Yeah.
He said, "Something that you do one time, but you get paid over and over again." I'm like, "Why am I trying to go to college? I want to know how to do that."
Gotcha.
And so while I was in college, I began to look at business models that generated passive or residual income. One of them was real estate, because everybody and their mama actually had it, from Robert Kraft, Jerry Jones, all the billionaires actually had real estate in their portfolio. So I began buying real estate while I was in college. The first deal that I did, I made $3,500. And in college, that's a big time. In college,
Sure.
you broke.
For sure.
In college.
For
So
sure.
then I went from $3,500 to $10,000 to $26,000, and now $35 million worth of real estate. For me, business is always about solving someone's problem. Whenever you're buying a real estate transaction, the one thing I look at is, what's the pain point? Why you want to sell for? And typically, I like buying properties below wholesale. I never buy properties at retail. That didn't make sense to me at all, because I'm planning for the worst case scenario. Each and every deal that I actually acquire, I actually take home cash when I actually acquire it. Wow. Every single time.
All right, Cliff, man, we have dove into this, man, when it came to Warren Buffett and then what's going on. Grant did a phenomenal job at this, guys. Now, Cliff, let's do something real fast. There's a lot of doom and gloom there, but let's talk about what we call the real estate kind of move, guys. We call it the bounce back.
I'm about to bounce back, bounce back. I'm about to bounce back, bounce back.
All right, guys. So let's talk about what are the most profitable investment strategies moving forward. For what you have heard there, Cliff, what do you think are the most profitable? Give us one real estate technique, man, that you think in this current climate right now and moving forward, which would be very profitable for someone in the residential area.
I mean, I still think rentals is going to be strong.
Yeah.
I think that market's actually starting to, like you said, deflate. I think that's one of the first signs it's already starting to deflate. I think taking over mortgages, people who are already at 3 or 4%.
Oh,
that would be huge. The problem is a lot of those. What's the reason for the default?
yeah,
If it's due to maintenance issues, you're gonna have to pay for that out of pocket.
yeah,
But you're at a 3 or 4% interest rate, so you're hoping to make it over time.
correct.
In the commercial space, it's probably going to be struggling commercial buildings that the payment is coming due, that it's time to refinance, and they're already struggling, so they're forced to sell, and sell cheap.
Yeah, I agree with that, man. 1,000%. I love what you just said concerning taking over mortgages, which is called subject to investing. I think that is an art that would never go out of style. Technique that would never go out of style, and it's going to be even prevalent now because you spoke about an individual that cannot afford their home now. They can't, and those are prevalent. For instance, expired listings. There's a lot of them going on. A lot of them going on. Listing agreements expiring, that happens all the time as well also, because you can have an expired listing with one realtor and then go to another realtor. So you just renew that. Well, so expired listings is different than changing agents, right? There's a lot of expired listings going on right now, and those are ripe to be reached out to for subject to. They're ripe because of the fact that they have a desire to sell, and a realtor has a desire to sell as well because they get paid a commission. And long days on market properties, those are ripe, ripe. Cliff, would you agree, man? You disagree?
No, I agree. Especially in the residential space, those long days on market, man. And I can go further into that. We have a coaching that we do, man, and it's simple, man. It's simple. Once you understand what the process is, I can break it down for you, especially from an appraiser's perspective about what we're looking for, because a lot of times people don't understand that.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of opportunity on there. Dale mentioned it. Days on market is a key point that you want to focus on.
Huge.
And I'll give you a tip that no one realizes. I actually bought my own home many years ago the same way. Is bad pictures.
Really?
Oh yeah, yeah. Made it because what happens is the average person, whenever they see bad pictures, they're like, I'm not interested. I can't even really see it. That's opportunity.
Yes, it is. Yes,
And
it
I actually
is,
got my own
baby.
home that way. It did not have great pictures, and I went out to the home, and it had a huge backyard. The realtor did not take a great picture of. It looked small in the picture.
Wow.
The pictures were like of the room were sideways, but I got to the house going, this. She did a terrible job. Negotiated with them, man, and ended up bought it, owned it for a couple years, made a great return on it.
Yeah, a friend of mine bought a property in Frisco, Texas, very fluent area, subject to, and he
wow.
lived in that boy for about 5 years.
Oh man, and Frisco,
5
yeah.
years. I mean, I remember going to his house, and I'm like, man, like, how you buy this? Oh, sub two. And I said, what in? He said, yes, sir. Like back in the day, your partner today used to be called the subject to king of Dallas. So I'm very familiar with the whole process. My same systems work now. I can do that now if I wanted to. Got this. I got a more robust legal team now. And to be honest with you guys, I'll give you guys a tip. Most people are scared of due on sale clauses, and I say this: don't be scared of a due on sale clause when it comes to subject to investing at all. The bank is not. Why are you? All thing they're concerned about is, can you pay?
Yeah, that's the key point. The banks, they don't care as long as it is. You have to understand when the banks, what they're looking at is a list full of mortgages.
That's it.
And they want to see, and what you'll see sometimes, you'll see this, they have it in the movies and everything, is next to each mortgage it'll show green.
Yeah.
On time payments. That's what they want.
Do. Yes,
as long as they see that green next to that mortgage, they ain't just no problems.
Because then they're gonna have to go to court and all. They don't want to do all that stuff, man. Hey, can you pay? No problem. Here, this is just be transparent with this is what's going on, guys. I came and helped them out. This is how I'm secured. I'm making a payment. You've seen I've been making a payment for the last 8 months. Direct debit. You're good. Oh, we're great. No problem. It's all good. Great. No problem. Yes, sir. It's all good. And Cliff, another tip, guys. Subject to investing works for apartment complexes.
That's true.
There's a ton of them out there. And also, another strategy that's going to be very, very, very prevalent in today's economy is seller financing. Because people cannot qualify for a mortgage. You agree, Cliff? You disagree, big dog?
No, you're right. Man, seller financing. You're absolutely right. That is another option out there that does exist, especially if they're selling at a low interest rate. You got to snatch that up.
If you are struggling to pay your mortgage, I'm gonna give you some game right now. And if you need to sell me your property, holler at your partner. DM me, and I'll buy that boy. Me and Cliff will buy that boy. This is what you need to do, guys. It's real simple. If you are having trouble selling your home, reach out to us, guys. No problem with it at all. I'll buy the property. It's gonna be very creative, right? Give you some cash up front. You can make a little cash flow. No problem. Sure can. Holler at your partner. We even pay for your moving expenses. We got you, baby. No worries. We got you. You see what I'm saying? There's always a solution out there. You just got to find it. That's all it is. And most realtors and most investors and most sellers only know of one way of acquiring real estate, just one. And that's traditional. And right now, guys, creativity is the new currency, because the more you're creative with wise counsel, right, the bigger your profits. It's a guy by the name of Pace Morby. You know Pace Morby, Cliff?
Yeah, I know Pace.
Pace, he a monster. He a monster real estate. I love his content. It's wonderful. He buys all his property subject to. All of them. Every last one. Or seller finance. He doesn't ever go get a loan from a bank. Never does.
That's some his lead flow must be a monster.
And he tells you how he does it. Let me tell you how he does it, guys. Expired listings and long days on market. You're welcome. Mm-hmm. That's all he does. Now, the sauce behind that, it's going to cost you. It's going to cost you a little bit, baby. But it's real easy, guys. I don't mind sharing with people as well how this gets done. I know how he's doing it. I think his strategy is phenomenal. It's wonderful. I think flipping can work, but it's like it's going to be ready for a long days on market.
Yeah. I'm seeing that. That is one of the things I'm seeing. So I do what's called a market conditions report. Mm-hmm. So I literally, I could probably pull up almost every zip code in DFW, Dallas Fort Worth area, and I can show you the market conditions report. And you're starting to see it. I mean, Dallas, Dale, how long it's been since you've seen 120 days in Dallas on market?
Man, 8, 9 years, 10 years.
Right. I'm seeing that in Bulk Springs and Mesquite.
Bulk Springs?
It should be moving quick, but there's pockets where it's not. The days on market are starting to get. What's interesting is there's certain places where I'm seeing, and it's 15 days, but I've seen other places where I just did one this week. It was Bulk Springs, and it came to about 50, anywhere from 50 to 100 days.
What, guys? Bulk Springs, guys, is near the Forney, Mesquite area over there. Right. Nice area, up and coming area, right? Which is fine. And for it to be on, it's kind of like if you're in Dallas, you have Plano, you have Richardson, you have Frisco, Little M, Melissa, Anna, which is a little bit more north. Melissa, Anna, and Frisco and Little M are kind of northwest, right? Frisco is just more north, and I'm sorry, Anna and Melissa. Frisco and Little Emma's more northwest, which is fine. But those are what they call suburbs of Dallas. Suburbs, right? All the action normally happens in like the Plano, McKinney area. That's the same thing when it comes to Bulk Springs. Mesquite is like the main hub. Mesquite is. We have Forney, you have Mesquite, then you have also Bulk Springs. And whenever people got tired of Mesquite, because Mesquite's kind of an older city, which is fine, right? And more established city, you go out to more of the suburbs. Now what's happening, guys, is Bulk Springs and Forney, they're the suburbs. 125 days on the market? Damn. That's crazy.
I know the interest rate isn't where a lot of people want it to be, but where the price points are right now, in the next 90 days might be you're paying that slight premium in interest rate, but you're getting the price. Yeah. I would say go in hard and negotiate. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm seeing. I saw a property the other day selling for $400,000, and they negotiated to $375,000, $25,000 in seller credits.
In seller credits? Dang.
So you're seeing those numbers on Zillow, 500, 600. What you're not seeing is the seller credits. That is only proprietary on the back end once it's sold. So you're seeing the sales price is $500,000. You don't see the seller credit was 20 rags.
I mean, you're saving 7%. 7%. Wow, guys. This is the reason why, guys, if you know how to negotiate and acquire real estate the right way, guys, the right way, man, you can get 7% of 7% of credits. I've seen almost 10% before, Cliff, because they were so desperate to get rid of it. So desperate. And in Bulk Springs, jeez. Now that's surprising. Yeah, that is surprising because I know BlackRock was buying up a lot of new construction out there in the Forney area, whole subdivisions, and overpaying for them, which is stupid.
Forney is blowing up.
Wow.
It is. The whole area around Forney is blowing up. That is going to be the next. I mean, the east side. I mean, really all around Dallas, but I'm noticing mostly on the east side.
Yeah.
It's killing it. Man, there's a lot of expansion out there.
It is a lot of expansion. And I would say lastly, guys, before we end it, is new construction. If you know how to acquire land the right way, put a good team together, and execute the strategies the right way, the easiest property to renovate is a new construction property. Would that be correct, Cliff?
Oh yeah, new construction, man. It's straightforward.
Mm-hmm. Straightforward, but the trick is putting the right builder in place to build your stuff, having the good legal team in place to make sure everything's good to go with all the permits. Make sure all your permits are taken care of, your floor plans, your architects in place, engineering in place, all that stuff as well. Because it's a process. But once you learn how to do it, guys, and do it successful one time, easy work. Easy work, guys. Well, guys, man, thank you so much for your time. Yo, before we get off, guys, most people always ask us, LaDale, can you train, can you Cliff Sanders in real estate? The answer is always yes. But, guys, at the exact same time, we believe in giving information out, really for free, to be honest with you guys. So we are giving away our free ebook called Distressed Property Investing. It's 100% free, didn't cost you a dime at all. Our philosophy is if we can teach you how to locate a distressed property in your city, county, or state, all right, vet the deal the right way, structure it the right way, we will fund the deal for you, and we can profit split. Real simple, not hard to do at all, period. And guys, to be honest with you, it is great. It is great for someone to easily go out, guys, if you actually have a licensed appraiser. Cliff, licensed appraiser that can walk you through a scope of work and also counts you on the as is value and ARV value, guys. That's like golden. And then you have someone like your partner who is an investor who literally funds transactions, banker, right? To really say, you know what? I think the right price point is this one right here. It's real simple. Now, Cliff, did we ever have this type of counsel when we first started in real estate?
No. Everything was on our own.
It's on our own, guys. So you get real world knowledge, not book knowledge, real world active knowledge. We can give real time information. Easy, guys. We want to give away the information to you for free, guys. No money, no nothing. It is free. Scan on the QR code on the screen, right? Or click on the link below in the description section. Or if you can't do any of that at all, guys, it's very simple. There's DM me the word real estate. Real estate. It's right there on the screen. And our team will get you out the link. That's the exact same link for you to download the free book. It's free, guys, but you got to lose. And also, guys, before I go to the next thing, guys, a lot of people ask me, hey, LaDale, I may need some assistance when it comes to appraising. Yo, guys, real quick, Cliff is a licensed appraiser. You can go to hunterappraiser.com. Guess what time to talk with him. And if you are in Texas, somewhere near, he can help you out. Or if you need some counsel on said properties, right, you can reach out to him and talk to him. Am I right, Cliff? Am I wrong?
No, absolutely. So, yeah, we do consulting, appraising of residential properties, 1 to 4 units. We're actually in the process of going into commercial. So if you do own a commercial building, we're actually going to start doing that pretty soon. We're going to do Texas, and obviously the goal is to expand across the United States. Right now, we're going to focus in Texas. So we're probably thinking in January sometime we'll be doing commercial properties. And I would like to do an announcement for y'all too.
Okay.
Not only are we doing residential properties, we're expanding over to commercial here pretty soon.
What?
But we're also moving over to Houston.
So time.
Yes, sir. Yeah. So if y'all out in Houston, anybody out there, We're going to be expanding. We've mainly been in the DFW space. We're expanding to a second market. Going to be in Houston here, doing appraisals again. We're going to start in January. We're getting our team and everybody to put together. So, we give you guys actually a good product. You have an understanding of how the values of homes are created.
Yeah.
How to be accurate.
Yep.
And so hit us up at hunterappraisal.com and give us a shout. We're here to help.
Gotcha. Cliff said he ain't never scared. He ain't never scared.
We ready.
He said he going to H-Town, baby. Ain't no thing,
Yes,
guys.
sir.
Yeah, we go, guys. At the exact same time, real fast, y'all, because my wife looking at me crazy. Now, at the exact same, if some folks said that I don't want to get in real estate, which is fine. It's not for you. No worries about it at all. We got something for you. A good friend of mine, Matt Sapalo, did a free, let me say it again, free video on passive income blueprint, guys. It's very simple. Click on the link below, or you're welcome to scan on this QR code. It is, as I get it up, guys, it's right here, guys. Click on the QR code. It is 3 business models you can generate a good passive income, and your partner is in the video. He does a case study on me. I made the video, y'all. I'm famous. All right. Now, at the exact same time, guys. Lastly, guys, man, you see us looking better than you. Real quickly, guys. I got the wrong thing up. It's all good, but you see us looking better than you guys. We got our own merch, baby. It's called the Bag merch, baby. Go and click on the link below. If you're in the description, scan on the QR code, guys, and get you some of this merch. Get you your hoodie, your t-shirt, man, and your hat. Matter of fact, anybody that actually gets their merch, guys, and tags us in it, guys, what we will do is we'll enter you into the gift card raffle, and you may get a gift card for $100 on your partner. All right, guys, it's real simple, guys. It's kind of the QR code, or click on the link below, guys. But Cliff, you want to say anything else before we get done?
No, man. Same thing I say every week. Y'all probably heard it before. You're one deal away. And you know what? I think one thing that we really want to emphasize too is some of y'all are not trying to be necessarily big. Y'all ain't trying to do 10, 15, all these houses. But I'm telling you, be amazed what one house a year can do for you. One. And what that allows you to do is take your time and be accurate. We can help show you the steps that you need to do. And some of y'all are trying to get ready for retirement. Some of y'all are worried about that. Well, I'm telling you right now, if you have a portfolio of homes, and I'm not talking 30, 50, I'm talking about 5. That's an easy way to straightforward retirement. So hit us up. We can show you how to do one house a year. Make sure it's accurate. You're doing it correctly. And you'll be amazed after doing it every year. All of a sudden, you start doing duplexes and 4plexes, and you got yourself a small portfolio.
Yep.
And now you feel good about retirement. So hit us up, and we'll be able to take you through the process.
Simple, guys. Click on the link below in the description section. Scan the QR code or DM me the word real estate, and we will get you this free distressed property investing ebook. It's free, guys. And here's a tip, guys. One of the tips. There's a tip in here, guys, where you can actually call the city that you're in or county and get a list of distressed properties in your city or county. For free. It's in the book, y'all. You better go download the book. But guys, man, thank you so much for your time. God bless you, man. You know, Cliff says it every time. You're one deal away from making you change your life. You know how I end it every time before you leave, and while you can, baby. You see that thing as I flex on you. Take that damn picture and give it to your mom and holler at you about it. God bless you guys. See you next week, guys. Peace.
Bless God, give thanks. Bless God, give thanks. Bless God, give thanks. Bless God, give thanks. Big God, big